It now costs drivers $9 to enter the lower half of Manhattan.
Everybody that goes below 60th Street is going to get charged, and that's not right.
Trucks also have to pay $21 to enter.
They're going to pass this on to consumers because those stores are going to have to pay extra for deliveries.
I believe it's a money grab.
This toll is called congestion pricing, and its goal is to reduce traffic by encouraging more people to take public transportation.
Because the trains, they say, are very safe. Well, last 3 weeks, 2 people are on fire. That's not too safe.
So I interviewed New Yorkers to see how they'll be affected by this bill. And I started at Van Cortlandt Park in the Bronx.
You know, this is a really congested place, so you have to moderate it somehow.
But now New York ranks as having the worst traffic in the entire country.
What are your opinions on congestion pricing?
Well, I've lived in New York all my life. And when I started driving, I could drive all around the island, and the only thing I had to pay was the Henry Hudson toll bridge, and that was it.
Yeah.
I believe it's a money grab. I don't think that you should have to pay for the privilege of going south of 60th Street.
There's only a certain amount of lanes and a certain amount of space that X amount of cars can travel. You know, it's just a slight way to incentivize it to make sure do you really need to go.
With a mixed bag of responses, we made our way down to 60th Street, where they've installed cameras to enforce the toll.
So I mostly take the MTA, but I am more concerned about the people that are going to feel like it's going to hit them more financially, and in the communities that seems to affect as well.
Everybody that goes below 60th Street is going to get charged, and that's not right. It's not fair for everybody.
I mean, their whole thing is that they're trying to get people to stop taking cars as much and try to get them on the subway.
Okay, I see that point, but still, some people, that's their ways of traveling. Some people, they're scared now. The way the trains are now, people are afraid to get on trains. It's too dangerous.
I know so many people that don't want to take the subways because they don't feel safe. I personally take the subways, I feel safe, but I understand why people might not.
Because the trains, they say, are very safe. Well, last 3 weeks, 2 people are on fire. That's not too safe.
You got homeless people sleeping on the trains. You got homeless people with psychological drug dependency, and there's nobody getting treatment for it. And so if they're going to act out, they're going to act out with, the normal riders. So who would want to pay the fare and get on the train and face the prospect of having somebody get into your face?
Speaking of the subway being dangerous, ironically, the day after recording this video, a guy came on the subway car that I was riding and started talking about all the people that he's killed.
I have 4 kills this year already.
And it's tough because you have no choice. You're obligated to take the train, or the bus.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts on congestion pricing?
Sucks.
Yeah. Why do you think that?
Well, they're charging people to come in here, right? They're going to pass this on to consumers because those stores are going to have to pay extra for deliveries.
If they could just raise the prices on the food to get more money out of us, wouldn't they have already done that?
If you're going to price gouge, basically, almost what you're saying.
Yeah.
So most people could realize that and they'll shop around. You have a much educated consumer nowadays.
Yeah.
So Target, Walmart, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Who has the cheapest one? That's where I'm going.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could inflate what you want. What I feel bad for is the small businesses here.
Yeah.
You're going to put them out.
Implement it, and I am a little troubled by it being a regressive tax where it doesn't matter who you are, you pay, I believe, I don't know this for sure, you pay that amount.
Yeah, if you make under 50K, you could qualify to pay half.
And that's complicated, and how do people know how to do it, and is it public?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on congestion pricing?
Well-intentioned, fundamentally a terrible idea because the local communities it's going to impact are not the people that should be paying for this. The majority of people bringing cars into Midtown and downtown, those are generally not people that can afford to take an Uber. They're people who have to do it for work. It's also going to cause people to park and leave their cars north of 60th Street, which is going to create parking problems for people who live, in the East Harlem, in Washington Heights, where I live. It seems like a disaster waiting to happen.
During our time on 60th Street, we couldn't find a single person who supported congestion pricing, and a common issue seemed to be a general distrust of the MTA and local government.
Yeah, I guess the idea is that all the money that they're getting from the toll is supposed to go to the train, try to make it better.
And you believe that? Let's be real.
Yeah.
That money's going somewhere else and in somebody's pocket.
The idea is, I guess, all the money that they're getting from the toll is supposed to go into public transportation, things like that.
Which I think in principle, to have people that are driving cars help to subsidize public transportation is a great idea. I don't necessarily believe that the money is going to go there. Someone said this money is going here and it's guaranteed and nobody can touch it. I would feel better, but I tend to be skeptical.
Why don't you believe it, I guess?
For so many reasons where developers say they're doing something and then it never happens and the city never enforces it.
Do you think if they were transparent with everything, like they gave all the receipts of where all the money was going, would you personally feel more in favor of it?
Not really.
Yeah.
Because you know very well it's not really doing, they could say whatever they want to say. But technically, it really doesn't really work that way. The city wants to make money no matter how they do it.
Where do you think the money is going?
I don't... I really rather not say that, but because we pretty much all know where it's going,
Where? Where is it?
But no, see, that's the answer you want me to tell you, but.
Does people's salaries go up as much?
No, I mean, totally not.
So how are you going to do this?
How you,
you
pay
understand?
for it?
How are you going to do this?
Yeah.
So I have to stop getting something that I really want to afford to get something that I need.
Yeah. Totally.
So does that make sense? That doesn't make any sense at all, really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking common sense. I'm not,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I get it, environment, I get it, congestion, I get all of that.
Yeah.
But let's first let's make sure your agency is being as frugal as it could possibly be. I mean, if they maybe would have done an internal audit to the MTA, they have 30% more employees than they need, maybe I think they could find a way to save money, okay? Because I know all the infrastructure comes from state and federal money. So putting congestion pricing in doesn't stop congestion pricing per se. It pays for health benefits and pensions of the excess employees they have.
I let my license expire and I can't drive. So that's my next thing. Yeah, well, honestly, I think we just need more transparency.
Yeah.
So like, where's that money going? Show me the receipts.
Yeah.
Period.
But we have probably the most corrupt local government of the last 20 years right now.
Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury.
So that money is just going to Turkey or, Eric Adams' cousins or whatever. Like, it's not...
Yeah.
They have the money if they want it. They don't need our congestion pricing. The best case scenario is what they're never going to do, which is actually seriously, in good faith, do huge investment in public transportation. I mean, the subway and bus system is ancient. It should be the only way that people get around. The idea that anyone would need to drive in the city is already a disaster, but they do because the fucking subways don't work, and most people who live, if you can't afford to live in Williamsburg, you end up living a 20-minute walk to the nearest MJ or Z train. Like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, they're not putting the money in public transportation in a serious way.
Yeah. New York is an extremely expensive city to live in, and the toll threatens to make the city even more expensive. And while many seem to agree it's for a good cause, at least on paper, few seem to have faith in the local government's intentions, as the mayor has been indicted for bribery charges, and it feels like the condition of the subway only gets worse. New Yorkers are gonna need to see a lot to regain trust. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more videos like this about New York City.